Hi guys, Olive here. In today's video, I would like to talk to you about the classics that I am hoping to read in 2018. I did one of these Classics TBRs for 2017, and I found that it really motivated me to pick up more classics, which has been an ongoing goal of mine to introduce more classics into my reading life. So I decided to do the same thing for 2018 and make a list of 12 classic works that I'm hoping to get to in 2018. The first classic book that I'm hoping to read is Villette by Charlotte Bronte. I have slowly but surely been working my way through all the works by the Bronte sisters. In 2017, I read The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, which I really enjoyed. That was the first book of Anne's that I had ever read. I would now like to turn my attention back to Charlotte. I have not read any of her works since I loved Jane Eyre several years back, but I have heard from quite a few different people on BookTube that they consider Villette to be even more accomplished than Jane Eyre. So I obviously am dying to dig into this book and see if that's true. The second classic book that I would like to read in 2018 is North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. In 2017, I read and adored Wives and Daughters. And so of course I've been itching to read something else by Elizabeth Gaskell. I've been told by many different fans of Gaskell's here on BookTube that North and South doesn't have the exact same magic that Wives and Daughters did, but that it's more of a Pride and Prejudice story, but set during the industrial era. I got the impression when people told me this, that they viewed that as a negative, that something set during the industrial era isn't going to be as interesting as Jane Austen's classic. I view it the opposite way. I have learned a lot about the Industrial Revolution through my studies in economics and finance and business. So I'm actually thrilled that it is like Pride and Prejudice, which is also one of my all-time favorites, but set during this time period. Moving on to the third classic that I would like to read in 2018, I am hoping to pick up Middlemarch by George Eliot. I am sure that you are seeing a trend in the early part of my list in that it's heavily inspired by the books that I had on my 2017 Classics TBR. In 2017, I read and really enjoyed The Mill on the Floss by George Eliot. After finishing The Mill on the Floss, I did read some Goodreads reviews of it, which said that it's a decent book, but it's not at all at the level of her masterpiece, Middlemarch. Given how much I enjoyed The Mill on the Floss and how much I enjoyed George Eliot's writing style, I am really interested to see how much more I potentially could love Middlemarch. And I might be one of those stereotypical people who reads it in March. The fourth book on this list is The Master and Margarita by Mikhail Bulgakov. If you've been around my channel for a while, you may know that although I love Russian language, Russian culture, history, and politics, I have been struggling to get into Russian literature. Every piece of Russian literature that I've completed or attempted to read, I've just not connected with. But that has not deterred me from trying to get more into Russian literature. So there are a couple pieces on this list, including this book, which I constantly hear everyone rave about. So I guess we will see how I end up feeling about this one, and I will definitely keep my fingers crossed that it inspires me to pick up more Russian literature. The next classic that I would like to read in 2018 is Dragonwyck by Anya Seton. This one is a lesser known classic that I heard Bree Hill talk very highly of a few months back. It is a gothic mystery that I think will be perfect to read during the fall. Number 6 is Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. Similarly to how I am trying to work my way through all of the works of the Bronte sisters, I'm trying to do the same with Jane Austen. I'm attempting to pace myself so I don't blow through them too quickly and read about one per year. In 2017, that was Persuasion, which I very much enjoyed, and this year it will be Northanger Abbey. Number 7 on this list is another piece of Russian literature, Eugene or Eugene Onegin by Alexander Pushkin. This is a novel told in verse that I attempted to read at the end of 2016, but stopped reading because I wanted a clean slate for 2017. I really liked the portion I read back in 2016, so I have been eager to pick this back up again. The 8th classic I would like to read in 2018 is This Side of Paradise by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I have not read anything by F. Scott Fitzgerald since I read The Beautiful and Damned back in 2015. I don't know quite how that happened. I really enjoy reading Fitzgerald, so I'm excited to get back to reading him this year. Number 9 is The Age of Innocence by Edith Wharton. Edith Wharton was the first woman to ever win the Pulitzer Prize, which she did for this novel back in 1921. I have heard many people sing Edith Wharton's praises, and this will be the first book by her that I've ever read. Number 10 on this list is Madame Bovary by Gustave Flaubert. This is a classic that I mainly know by name. I don't know much more about it besides it is a tragic story of infidelity, but it is one of those books that I feel I should have read to be a well-read person. The penultimate classic that I hope to read in 2018 is The Moonstone by Wilkie Collins. Many people claim that this book was the very first detective mystery novel, so I will be excited to read it and see how it inspired a genre. And the 12th and final classic that I am hoping to read in 2018 is The Best Stories of Fyodor Dostoyevsky. As I said earlier in the video, I am struggling to connect with any of the Russian literature that I've been picking up lately. I meant to read Crime and Punishment in 2017, and unfortunately just couldn't get into it. I have heard recommendations from many different people on BookTube and off of BookTube that the best way to start with an author is to read some short stories of theirs. I am sincerely hoping that these 7 short stories will help me connect with Dostoyevsky's novels later down the line. So those were the 12 classic works that I am hoping to read in 2018. I would love to hear from you in the comment section below if you've read any of these, if you've heard of them, if you have any recommendations of where I should start, or if you would like to chat with me elsewhere. I am on a variety of different places on social media, and the links to all of my profiles are linked in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.